Thank you for joining the Printshop tutorials. Today we are going to be looking at some of the features that are very well hidden if you don't look into what there is to do in the Printshop. Okay, and that's a little bit um, time consuming sometimes, but we can learn about them. Okay, now this time, like the last time, unlike the last time, we are going to go ahead and go with selecting one of the templates that the Printshop does provide for us. And let's go ahead and do the postcards. Click on that. And we have the options here, or the selections that we can select. And I'm going to go ahead and select this one here. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and learn about what every one of these menus do and what they are like. Okay. Number one, first of all, we're going to go ahead and learn at the top left corner. This is the file menu per se. This is where you can create new projects. Um, and then this is where you can open a recent project that you've done before, so that way you don't have to go looking for it. And then this is, of course, to save your project. Now, there's a big difference between the save and the save as options. Okay, save, you usually use it in the middle of making a document. Let's say you're in the middle of making a flyer or postcards or whatever it is that you're making. You want to go ahead and click on save. You're gonna, if you're gonna take a break and you gotta get away from the computer, you before you get away from the computer, click on save, because you don't know if the computer may shut down or something might happen, you know. So you click on save to make sure that you have it saved. Okay. Now the save as is an option that you use um, to rename a project or name a new project. Okay. So let's say here, let's go ahead and change this to postcard 1. And make sure you know where you're going to put it at. So I'm going to put it in the desktop and save. Now, I'm doing this. Now, once it does that, it will keep the original template intact, okay? But whatever changes you have made to it, it will save it, all right? So to that particular, so you're making a new file basically. And that's what that does. So now, say that I've changed something, and say double click on here, and I change this to bold, and then change it to white. Okay, well, not white, because we're not gonna see it, right? Change it to black, let's say. And then, I get a phone call or whatever, so I want to make sure to go ahead and click on save. So make sure that it's saved the changes that I've made. So when I come back, so even though when you close the program, the changes stay there, okay? Because if you notice, I'm going to close the program. I'm going to reopen it again. And we'll go ahead and open it, open existing one, and I think it was the project postcard, right? So see, so you have the change, it's stayed there because you saved it. So you need to do a save when you're taking a break, basically. So the way if you close the application, it'll stay saved, okay? And another thing is that if you close it, let's say I change this to a question mark and I didn't save it, right? What I do is, and then I close it because I need to close it right away. Um, this here has an autosave option as well, but it's best that you save your program because if you don't, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it's buggy. So let's see what happens. Did it save it? The changes. Nope, it didn't save the changes. So you see, so that's the reason why you want to go ahead and save it. Put a question mark and then you say click here and then say save. Then we'll go ahead and close it and open it again. And then we'll go open existing and we'll open it here. And see, it saved it because the question mark is there. Okay, so that's what that does. And now the save as JPEG, what this does, it saves the project as a picture. Okay, basically, click on save as JPEG, and we'll go ahead and put it on the desktop, and we'll look into that in a minute. And postcard 1, it has the same name on it, and then you click on save as type, and then it tells you, well, you can save it as a Printshop file, you can save it as a .xps file, that is for Linux and Mac files, and JPEG files, that's a picture, okay, and also you can save it as a HTML, like a website, or even a PDF file, and that's it. So, but what we want to do right now is we're going to save it as a picture, okay? And I'll show you what that does. Click on Save as a Picture, and we want to go ahead and have the image quality as the highest. And so we leave it the way it is, and I click on Continue. And it's saving it as a picture. Okay, so then let me go ahead and minimize the Printshop, and we'll go to the desktop. That's where we saved it at. Very important. Don't forget where you saved it at, because sometimes we don't pay attention to that, and then we forget where we saved it at. So go to the desktop. I go to my home, and then look for the desktop. And what we'll do is we'll find it. We're looking for a picture that is called postcard 1, right? Yes, postcard 1. There it is. And see what it does? It saves it as a picture. And so that way you can print it out, and if this was a photo, or like this has a photo in there, if you wanted to do a better quality printing, you can save this as a JPEG, so that way when you put it in a thumb drive, you can go ahead and take it to the photo lab, and they'll go ahead and print it for you in a better quality. And see, it saved both sides, the front and the back. This is the back side, and so that's the front, and that's the way it works. Okay, now let's go ahead and go back to the Printshop, and then click on File again, and then we'll see what it does with the Save as PDF folder. PDF stands for Portable Document Format. Okay, and PDF, it's opened by Adobe Acrobat, which everybody has in their computers, or you can download it from the website. It's a portable format, so that way this you do when you're gonna go ahead and transfer it to another computer and they don't have uh, the print shop, or they don't have the print shop, and you did something, you did a work on it, and then you find out they don't have the print shop, then you make sure that you put it as PDF, so that way you can print it still. Okay, so and we'll go ahead and save it as a PDF file, and we'll do it again in the desktop. Make sure we know where we're going at. And so we continue. We leave the resolution at 150, it's okay. And so go ahead and minimize the print shop, and then click on to my home directory, and then go to desktop. Of course, you don't have to do all this. I just do that because this is my preferences of working on it. So, and this is the postcard PDF file right here. So as it opens up, you're going to see that you have a PDF file with 2 pages, meaning that you have the front and the back. And so you can go ahead and print this out. Click on print, and it will print actually the work that you've done, basically. So like I said, if you do not, if the person that you are changing it to the computer, or if you go to a computer that does not have, the print shop, you can do this. So that way you can print your work in their computer. That's simple as that. Even though when you create, 4 postcards, you can still do that, and it'll work the same way. Anything will create PDF files from any projects. Go ahead and close that. Let's go back to the print shop again, and click on File, and then click on Save as HTML. This will save it as a full website. This is in case that you want to click on Save Desktop. This is in case that you want to upload it to a website. Because sometimes there are some files that we want to put on the website, on a website. It really depends what you want to do, because there are many type forms of files that you can do, or projects that you can do on the print shop. And so what I just did there, I just save it as a web page. So let's go to the desktop, and we'll click desktop, and then we're gonna go find postcard. And you see that postcard now, it has the Firefox symbol on that, so that means that we will be seeing it on a browser, or web browser. So you see this here, and I double clicked on a web browser, which is Firefox, and you see now you have it as a website, and then click on next, and you show the other side. So that's basically what that does. and we'll go ahead and close it there, and I'll show you what it does here in a minute. It has postcard page 1 and then postcard page 2, which is the back. Okay, that's what does create that. And now let's see what we have here. This folder here, it has everything that you need, meaning all the images that the postcards have, and they're all spread out, so they're ready to be uncompressed, or they're in an uncompressed format, so that way it will fit into the website. And see, if you right click on this and you open it with Notepad, it's going to show you a whole bunch of code. And this is basically the website code, okay? The web page code. And that's what's going to go on your web page. Okay, so you see how that works. It's just so you can go ahead and put your work up on the website. Now let's go back to the print shop, and let's take a look at the file button again. Now let's go to the print option. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 options. Okay, you have the print option, which is, you have no doubt about that. It tells you what you want. If you, this is to print it directly, and when you're ready to print. And then you have the print preview. This is how you know how the page will be looking like. Okay, so right now this is one postcard. So it's only going to print one postcard, the front side and the back side. Now, if I were to go to the project tab and I click on this here, I would click on the Avery 8227 postcard. This is 4, right? 4x4. Now, if we go back to the file menu and then we go to print preview, then it would show us, see that? Now you have 1, 2, 3, 4. Front side, 4 front, back side. That's what that does. That's a print preview before you print. So you make sure that you're doing the right thing. That's what it does. Okay. So we saw that, and we go back to print and the print alignment tool. This aligns your printer in case you're having issues where the printers where the paper is not being printed correctly, with the margins, with all that. The first thing you need to do, you need to run a print test, and once you run the print test, it'll print it out, and if you see like the letters are unaligned, or they're away from the margin, or you have gaps in the page as it's printing, then you need to align it. Then that's what you gotta do, align it, and then it will align it for you. Then it's a process. It'll take about 15-20 minutes for it to do that. And if you click on save, now the other one is the double-sided setup. This one helps you to set up any document that you want to set up as two-sided. Okay, and helps you configure it so that way when you print it, it'll tell you once it's done with one side, it's going to tell you turn it over and put it back on the other side, and that's what it does basically. So you click on next, and then you click on the print test one. Once you do that, the print test one, it will give you a type of a test or diagnostics. Right now I can't do that because my printer's not online. So we'll go ahead and go back. But it's another process to, all you do is very simple, just follow the instructions that it tells you and you're good to go. Now, print again, and now this one is a very handy tool if you have a lot of people that you're going to be sending postcards or documents or what have you. What you do is, this is a mail merge configuration, okay? Um, what happens here is that you select your email program or your mail, and then what it does, it transfers all of your contacts into this here, so that way you can send them, you can send to multi contacts via email the documentations, if you don't want to print it out. And that's what that does. So and once you got this all set up, you just save it, and basically what you do is click on sharing, and you can see right here where it says Gmail. You can import contacts from Google Mail or Yahoo or whatever, the options that you have here. And then you can click on Gmail, and then you send everybody what you need via email. Also by the address book, because this is where you're going to put all your address book. Basically, this is where all your contacts are going to go. Now, if you want to send your stuff via Facebook or post it on Facebook, you can do that too. Click on that, and it will go to the Facebook application, log in, your username or your email, and then your password, and it will post on Facebook. Okay. Now I'm gonna close that. Now, share by email means share any other type of email that is not Gmail. You know, like AT&T email or different type or the different emails that there is out there. So that's good for that too. So that's how you share your applications in that. Let's go back to project and then go back to file, and let's see what we got here. That's how you set up your mail merge. Okay, that's basically called email merge. And let's see, that shows you this. Every time you want to open something, and you actually, you want to print something, and you say, well, I want to print this. Sometimes there's going to be a more. That means that there are a lot more publications, so it's going to take you to all your publications that you have. Okay, so for instance here, when you go to save, it will give you all the saved documents that you have. And if you can't find yours, then you click on more, and then it says whichever one you want to save on the changes, and that's that. And now let's go back to home, and you see save as JPEG, save as HTML, save as PDF, then print preview, print alignment, double-sided printing, and set up mail merge. And okay, so this options are also here in the home tab. Okay, add a sentiment. If you click on this, it will take you to the website, so you can go ahead and buy, their greeting stuff. So, you know. And the undo and redo, that's when you make a mistake. And let me open this up and I'll show you. Well, gotta open the project. Woohoo. Okay, I'll open a different project as soon as that one did not want to open. Alright, so let's say that I want to take the ball guy out. So, well, actually, if I move this guy out here to this side, okay. So, and then I decide that I made a mistake. So you click on undo and it takes him back to the where it was. That's what undo does, okay? And if you redo, it'll redo it again. So that's what they do, okay? And now the view menu, it gives you an option of zooming in if you want to do detail work on some things. And that's all it does. And the next page will take you to the next page. Previous gets you back to where you're at. So now take a look at the whole page, what it does. It just gives you the view of the page, basically. So right now the zoom is at 105. Now switch projects, you can really simply switch the projects if you want to work on something else. And you want to leave this here so you don't have to reopen the print shop. Click on that and I just switched the project. You see that? And then I click there and I switch the other project. Now, even notification is like a little reminder of all the holidays and all that. It'll give you that. So that's what that does. And if I wanted to go ahead and clear this, or to clear anything out of here, instead of using the delete key on the keyboard, I'll say clear. But of course you have to highlight this, because if you don't highlight this, then it's not going to know what to clear, basically. So you go back and then say clear. It clears it. Now, we'll go back to, now go to the text. Text is very self-explanatory, because all you gotta do is, of course, this is the font. Well, that is a bug that it has, so you gotta be careful with that bug. Alright, and it happens like that. That's why it's good to keep your documents saved. Okay. But let's go ahead and keep on working on it. Let's go back to this, open it again. Well, that's a bug that it has with me. Probably won't have it with anybody else, because it's a little temperamental with Windows Vista because it's an older version of Windows, so might be that. So anyways, um, when you go to the, you can also look at the text box here. Click on add a text, and you can add this text anywhere you want to. Right? So you gotta make sure you're gonna type in. Okay, so then you highlight it before you. The best way to highlight text is from behind to the front, or from the end to the beginning of the text, and then click on bold. And of course, you're gonna change the. I'll change it to 23. Press enter. I will align it to the center, and padding. Let's see what that does. It takes it down a little bit. So you see what that does right there? It'll just take it down a little bit if you're not sure that you want it wherever it is. So, and the spacing, it will space out between the text. Okay, so that's what that does. And if you want to put a border around it, you can do click on border there. Okay, and opacity, it makes it all kind of clear or disappearing. If you see that, and then the drop shadow, less and more. It's gonna give it like a 3D, three-dimension look. Um, so then you move this, and then you see that there's a shadow there. And then the blur, you won't be able to see it as much. Blur is morely used on photographs, like for backgrounds that you want to blur out. Okay, that's what that does. We covered a lot about uh, what the Printshop does. We'll cover some more details on the lines in the clipboard and the shapes and pretty much that on the next tutorial. But before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and click on my photos, and I'm going to show you how to import a photo that you have on your computer to the Printshop. And that's the last of it. That would end the tutorial. If you click on import, first let's go back to where we were, back to home, and then templates. And since we're there, then let's go ahead and go to my photos, and then click on import, and it gives you an option if you want to go ahead and import a photo that you already have in there. So you click on there, and it's importing it basically. So this brings it up to here, to this area, so that way when you need to my photo, you need to put one of the photos that you have imported in here. All you do is my photos, and then click on it, and then it's going to add it to the project. That was a basically an editing tool for the photo. Okay, so you click on action and then add to project, and it adds it to the project. You can go ahead and, oops, click on it and resize it to that, and then you bring this to the back, right click on it and arrange it, and then move to the back. Oh, I was going for more of a, let me right click it again, more of a background. Arrange, move backwards. It's not going to work there because we have a lot of objects. There's a lot of things that you have to take into consideration. Sometimes you have to clear out all the objects that you have created or they're there. I'm going to delete that there, and I'm going to delete that here and here, so that way I can go ahead and make this as the background. And now you can go ahead and resize this. That's the background. And there we go. And see, it covers everything and it stays in the background. Now it looks different, right? So even though if I move the picture up, it's going to look a little bit different. So we're going to have to stretch this out so we can have the texture and everything there done right. Okay, so this one I'm deciding that this is looking ugly. So I'm going to take that out of there and I will delete it with the delete key on the keyboard. And we'll move the picture so we can make sure it's center. Okay, and this little lock here, it will lock the picture. That tells you if the picture is movable, like so, or if the picture is fixed in. Okay, so to make sure that you click on, right click on it and then click on, let's see here, arrange. You gotta click on edit then. Make sure, well, the edit menu, it's going to be to give the picture some touch-ups, okay? It will give the picture some touch-ups like the contrast, and that's it. Click on save and it's done. Alright, now that's all there is to this for now. Later on we're going to be looking at the other things that are a little bit more creative, you know. Okay, well, hope you like the tutorial. Give me some comments in the box section, and if you like it, let me know. Okay, thank you. And I will save that. Yes.